And today we have with us on the call His Grace Braja Mohan Prabhuji to enlighten us on the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 9, verse 63 onwards. Thank you, Prabhuji, for being with us today and giving your valuable association and enlightening us on this topic. So you can take over the call, Prabhuji, now. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Let's offer prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 9, entitled Dhruva Returns Home. Text 663. Udyanani cha ramyani vichitrair amaradhrumai kujad vihanga mitunair gayan matta madhuvratai. Udyanani, gardens, cha also, ramyani, very beautiful, vichitrai, various, amaradhrumai, with trees brought from the heavenly planets, kujat, singing, vihanga, of birds, mitunai, with pairs, gayat, humming, matta, mad, madhuvratai, with bumblebees. Translation: the king's residence was surrounded by gardens wherein there were varieties of trees brought from the heavenly planets. In those trees there were pairs of sweetly singing birds and almost mad bumblebees, which made a very relishable buzzing sound. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. In this verse, the word Amaradhrumai, with trees brought from the heavenly planets, is very significant. The heavenly planets are known as Amaraloka, the planets where death is very much delayed, because the people there live for 10,000 years according to the calculations of the demigods, in which our 6 months are equal to 1 day. The demigods live in the heavenly planets for months, years, and 10,000s of years according to demigod time. And then again, after the results of their pious activities are exhausted, they fall down to this earth. These are the statements that can be collected from the Vedic literature. As the people there live for 10,000 years, so also do the trees. Of course, here on this earth there are many trees which live for 10,000 years. So what to speak of the trees on the heavenly planets? They must live for more than many 10,000s of years. And sometimes, as practiced, even now some valuable trees are taken from one place to another. It is elsewhere stated that when Lord Krishna went to the heavenly planets with his wife Satyabhama, he took a Parijata flower tree from heaven and brought it to the earth. There was a fight between Krishna and demigods due to the Parijata trees being taken from heaven to this planet. The Parijata was planted in the palace of Lord Krishna, which was occupied by Queen Satyabhama. The flower and fruit trees in the heavenly planets are superior, for they are very pleasant and tasteful. And it appears that in the palace of Maharaja Tanapada, there were many varieties of such trees. So, we'll offer prayers to the Guru Parampara. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Garamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamsa He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namosture Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubheva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Yo antapravishya mama vachaimam prasuttam sanjeevadya kila shaktidhara swadamna anyam sahasra charana shravanatvagadin Pranam Namo Bhagavate Purushaya Tubhyam. Hare Krishna. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak something on the Srimad Bhagavatam for my purification and glorification of the Lord. And grateful to all the devotees for being very much eager to be connected to the Srimad Bhagavatam online or anyhow possible. So, and we are almost at the ending of this chapter, just like we are at the ending of this year. We are almost at the ending of this chapter, just few more verses to go. And this section shows the opulence that Dhruva Maharaj enjoyed after he came back from the forest. And the previous verses, the last time I gave class last week, was when Dhruva was coming back to the forest. That verse was also about when Uttarabha saw Dhruva coming from the dense forest into the city. He went there to receive him, and immediately went and he embraced his son, because he was feeling so much guilty that because of his neglect, his son had to go through so much hardship, so much trouble. And as I was telling last time, that Uttanapad, he was a very powerful king, and as we see the opulences that he had in his palace was heavenly. There may be places called as heaven on earth, or something to do with heaven, but this was truly something, things that were brought from the heavens. The trees, different varieties of trees, and there were birds chirping and mad bumblebees that were making a relishable buzzing sound. And the whole point that Shukadeva Goswami is making is that he is giving this description of the place that which he enjoyed, so that those who are aspiring for material desires, they don't get morose that, oh, Dhruva, ultimately he just got Vishnu and he didn't get what he wanted. But he showing through these verses is kind of giving that if you are looking for akama sarva kamova, even if you are looking for all types of desires, it's not a bad idea to approach Vishnu. In fact, it's the best idea, best place to approach. Therefore, one of the names of Lord Damodar is that is Varadeshwara, is Varadesha. In the 4th verse, he says that although you can give all the best of the benedictions, the benediction which I want is to always sada me manasi, that let me always remember you. And also we have this famous deity of Lord Vishnu in Kanchipuram, known as Varadaraj, the giver of benedictions. And it is Lord's nature, whenever he sees his devotees, he wants to give them something. Just like I remember in my childhood, whenever some relatives used to come, or when they used to go, they used to give some chocolates or some biscuits to children, or some little money here and there. And our parents, if the child is going somewhere, they ensure that the child is having some money. So same way, the Lord is always very much eager to give his devotees the blessings, the facilities. But the only thing is that he wants to ensure that the devotee is not spoiled by the blessings that he gives, but the devotee is capable to digest the blessings, is capable to use the blessings. Just like when we eat some food, if we have proper digestive capacity, then the food that we eat will help to nourish us. But the same food, if without proper digestion, like say rabdi or paneer or whatever we eat, can become harmful, even if it is good. Like nowadays, some doctors to some patients, they tell them, even if the ghee is the most purest of all, you should not take, because you don't have the digestive capacity. Or about milk, or about different things, although they themselves are very good. So same way, the materialists, they only run after Krishna, asking for things, asking for food. But the devotee, of course, the pure devotee doesn't ask for anything. But even if the devotee asks something to Krishna, he also asks the digestive capacity. Oh Krishna, please give me this thing, and also the ability to handle it, ability to use it properly. Therefore, there is a saying that prosperity is not a devil to be abhorred or a deity to be adored, but only an instrument to be used in the service of the Lord. So the devotee, when he sees opulences, when he sees himself in a comfortable position, he sees that how can I use this situation, how can I connect these facilities to Krishna's service. And here we see Dhruva. Earlier he was hankering for sthana vilashi tapasi stitoham. Before his transformation, Dhruva was dying for the best post that was available. But although now he has got the sthana, that position which he is aspiring for, and this verse shows about the garden, how the garden is of Dhruva, what to speak of the inner chambers. Of course, the next few verses go into how the inner chambers were gloriously decorated. And usually a yogi especially a Jnana Yogi, if he sees these kinds of opulences, he'll immediately start to abhor. This is something not worth pursuing, or not. This will detach. This will take me away from Krishna consciousness. And although the devotee may not aspire for this situation, but if he gets by the mercy of the Lord or by his karmic situation, he just doesn't become very disinterested, or he uses, because he is not entangled, he is not attached to them. Yes, today Krishna has given me $10 or 10 rupees to use in his service. Tomorrow he may give $10 million to use in his service. Therefore Prabhupada said that Krishna tested him twice. Krishna tested him once by taking everything away from him. His family was taken away from him. His health was taken away from him. His support, his friends or his institution was not supporting the cause for which he was going. So his fitness, his family, his finances, everything was taken away from him. But still he never gave up Krishna. He never gave up the desire to serve his Guru, and he was pursuing with all the difficult situation. And then Prabhupada said that, and then Krishna tested me again by giving me everything. Possible that a person can aspire for hundreds of centers all over the world, thousands of disciples, farm communities, and so much money. And Prabhupada, he said that, and either by Krishna giving me everything or Krishna taking away everything, the devotee's consciousness, just like Prabhupada showed, that it is in the same mode, that how can I engage whatever Krishna is bringing me properly. And same mode, now that Dhruva is ready, Dhruva is having proper digestive capacity to able to use everything. Krishna is just, through his father, is giving him all these opulences. And in fact, in the few verses we'll see that Uttanapa, seeing that his son is quite capable to handle the kingdom, he renounces the kingdom and he goes to the forest, almost like following in the footsteps of his son. Usually the son follows the footsteps of the father, but in this case, because Dhruva was so glorious, seeing Dhruva's devotion, the father, King Uttanapa, he gave up the kingdom. He interested in, and the verse says that Udavayasam. The future verse says that Udavayasam. And Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says in those verses that at the age of 15, the Uttanapa saw that Dhruva is quite capable, and he leaves the kingdom and he goes. Now 15 is quite a young age to handle an international empire, an international society. But Dhruva was capable because of his maturity, because of his devotion to Krishna. Therefore that verse which Rupa Goswami composed, he says that Dhruva didn't have any age. Dhruvas chavayo. That where was Dhruva's proper age, mature age? Because everything has a proper age in which we take up something. Nowadays, sometimes boys come to me, and even in their college days, that Prabhuji, I'm being attracted to this girl, what should I do? And I say that there is an age for that. That if you get into all this love business now, then you'll ruin your studies. And once you ruin your studies, the girl will anyway not come after you because the family may not agree, or she may not be actually looking for you, but for also a proper financial position. So first you focus so this is the age for your study, and you do what this age is supposed for you to do. And this is a very important respect that we have to give is to the mental and bodily situation that our age brings. Every age has a particular needs, and those needs should be respected. And when we don't respect those needs that different ages have, then we fall into trouble. The same services that you may do when you are age of 20, you may not be able to do at the age of 40. But there's some types of services that you're supposed to do at the age of 40 if you try to do at the age of 20. And that was one of the big troubles that our movement faced, was when very young devotees had to take up very big leadership positions, uh, although they were not yet ready because of the need of the situation. Like Hridayanand Maharaj explains that at the age of 23 or 24, he was given sannyas. And then at the age of 27, he was a guru, and he had devotees, he had disciples, the young Matajis, and so much worship that was being given. And Maharaj said that it was not easy to digest all of that worship. And the best situation, those devotees that understood that this worship is not for me, it is for my guru, and I'm only a via media, they could survive. But as soon as you start to feel that this facility, this beauty, this money, this family, whatever Krishna gives, the end point is you. As soon as you become the end user, just like in mobiles or in software, whenever you install a software or you buy a mobile, as soon as there is a something called as EULA, EULA, it's called End User License Agreement. That of course most of us, whenever we get a new mobile or any software, we just say agree and continue. We almost none of us read it, but everybody sees that window that has so many terms and conditions, and we just scroll down to the page and say agree and continue, because we are just eager to have that software or have that mobile functional. But that has so many conditions that okay, now that you are the end user, this is what your rights are, and this is what you cannot do with the mobile, or in case something happens, all these legal things are mentioned there. So when the end user gets his product, his mobile or anything, he thinks this is for my use, this is for my enjoyment, and then he starts to use. But everything that Krishna gives, we are not the end user. We are only part of the supply chain. And the supply chain, the person gets a product, say in the manufacturing of a mobile, somebody gets just the chassis, just the outer structure of the mobile. And then his duty is to put a chip, say the Wi-Fi chip or the display panel, whatever. He has to put the chip and he has to move it ahead in the supply chain, and the next person improves it. So a devotee, he is just like Dhruva. He sees that he is not the end user of life, end user of the facilities that he got. He is only is part of the supply chain. The end user is Radha and Krishna, Lakshmi and Narayan, and ultimately when things are offered to Srimati Radharani, Srimati Lakshmi Devi, then she finally offers it to Krishna. So therefore, to be able to be in this mood that I am only an instrument, I am only a peon, I am only a part of the supply chain, is a very important consciousness for material for material things to not affect or infect us. Else that story of Sugriva is there in the Ramayana, where Sugriva, he had promised to Lord Ram that we will go and capture Lanka as soon as the Chaturmas is over and as soon as you um, help me get my kingdom back. And Lord Ram, he fulfills his wish that he kills Vali and he gets the kingdom back. And as soon as Sugriva gets his kingdom back, because there was a delay, because the rainy season was going to come. And it's quite interesting that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and so many in the past, we see that Chaturmas not moving anywhere during the Chaturmas was so strictly followed. Even Lord Ram, when he was having such kind of anguish, the very Sita Devi, he was following because. And one of the reasons was that when it rains, all the life forms, they start to, all the insects, earthworms, and everything starts to become the earth becomes alive. And when the earth becomes alive, at that time, if there is movement, then it creates destruction to all those earth living forms. So therefore, as a norm, they all didn't want to disturb when the earth was alive, and so that's why they didn't move for those 4 months. So Sugriva, he said, after the 4 months we will go and start the search for Sita Devi. And 4 months was over, the Chaturmas ended, and some more days went by, but Sugriva was not seen. And that time, Lord Ram becomes very angry that where is Sugriva? And Ram, he wanted to remind Sugriva, and he tells Lakshman, although he was very angry, he says to Lakshman that go and remind Sugriva about this. And he says a shloka, which I was recently reading, that although Lord Ram became very angry at Sugriva, he conveyed in a very gentle way. The message was very strong, but he conveyed in a way that was not very harsh. Otherwise, usually when we become angry, everything in the house starts to fall apart. Therefore, they say that when in the first year of marriage, the husband speaks and the wife listens. Because she's shy, she's new to the place. In the second year of marriage, the wife starts to speak and the husband listens. But in the third year of the marriage, both speak and the neighbors listen. So usually things become very volatile and people just start to speak whatever comes to their mouth. And in everyone's house, situations like this come up. So when Lord Ram, when he got angry on Sugriva, he first of all didn't himself go. He asked for a mediation. Of course, Lakshmana was already a very angry person. Especially when Lord Ram gets angry, he becomes doubly angry. I said no? That. So, but he tells, okay, although you may get angry, this is the message that you have to convey, and he tells this verse that go and convey Samaye Tishta Sugriva Ma Vali Patamanvaga. nacha sankuchita panta yena vali hatogata. He tells Lakshman, go and tell this to Sugriva. Samaye tishta Sugriva. Or Sugriva, the time for commitment. Tishta means therefore pratisthita, or tishta means a kind of a commitment or a connection. So he says that your commitment has come now, the time has come for you to fulfill a commitment. And he's saying, Ma vali patam and don't follow. Ma means don't. Vali patam anvaga. The path that Vali has followed, don't walk on that path. What is that path? That was the path to death. Nacha sankuchita panta yena Vali hatogata. And Lord Ram says, the door through which Vali walked is still open. And I can also send you through that door. I can also kill you. If I can kill Vali, I can also kill you. But don't let me do that. And the time for a commitment has come. So he has, instead of just speaking in a very harsh tone or very rash way, kya ho gaya, what happened, where is your commitment, and is this what you do, he just conveyed that you just know that just now I killed Vali, so better you fulfill whatever you promised. Otherwise, like typical politicians, they forget their commitments. Before getting the votes, they say so many things, but after getting their position, they forget. So Sugriva is a typical case of a sadhaka. When we get facilities, when we get nice comfortable situation, we usually tend to sink in that comfortable situation. But here we'll see that how Dhruva, he didn't become troubled, or he didn't forget Krishna in that situation. Just like Sudama also. Sudama, when he got those opulences, he didn't forget the goal, because he understood that I am not the end user, I am part of the supply chain. And that is one of the lessons that we can learn. And Uttanapad, unlike that, when he got Suruchi, such a beautiful wife, he just was enjoying her. And because he was obliged to her, he was doing whatever which was, even if it was not as per dharma, to neglect one's other's wife, his own wife, and neglect his own kid like Dhruva. But Uttanapad, he somehow, because he became a way to enjoy all these things. But Dhruva, we see that how he carefully, because of his being deeply absorbed in Krishna, he didn't need all of this to fulfill his heart's need. But when our heart is empty, then we look for all of this. That's what the point I was making last time, that when we are filled with Krishna, then anything that comes in our way, we start to use that. But if we are empty from within, then we won't be able to do proper justice to whatever comes. We will try to. Therefore, it is said health-wise that there are few things that we should not do when we are hungry. When we are hungry, it said you should not take medicine, because medicine is usually, it acts best when you take with food. You are not supposed to sleep when you are hungry, really hungry, because your sleep will be disturbed, because body needs some kind of, it's like making the mobile go down. When you try to use your mobile when it is low battery, it even drains more. And another thing which was very interesting, this was some kind of research that they did, that things to do was that you should not do shopping when you are hungry, which was quite amusing to me, that why should one shop when one is hungry? And they said that according to statistics, when you go for shopping when you are hungry, you tend to buy more than what you need because you are hungry. So you think, I may need that, I may need that. You tend to buy more things than what you need. But they said that usually if people go after their meal, after they are full, then whatever they see, they think with a not with a hungry mind, that you are actually, and people tend to buy less when they do shopping after with a full meal. So which was also which we can also relate to Krishna consciousness, that how when we are full, then when we see things in this world, we are not in the shopping mood. We only use that which are needed, because now our meal is a spiritual meal. We are already full with Krishna. But if we don't take Krishna and we are in this world, then we'll shop till we drop, as they say in the modern world. And another thing that they said one should not do empty stomach was to argue, because when you argue, when you try to discuss something when you are hungry or trying to prove a point, because you are already irritated, you are aspiring for something, all your angriness, all your emotions start to come because you are trying to argue. So they said that if you are to argue with someone, have a meal first, and after the meal you can discuss. And which is also true, that when we have Krishna consciousness in our heart, then we are not arguing for this or that. We are actually in a mood to properly discuss and clarify things. Else, when people's hearts are empty, then they fight for small petty little things. And even in home, like I was saying, that Dhruva and Uttanapad were fighting for a laptop, the lap of his father, and that got created. But because of the intervention of Narad Muni and Dhruva following the process properly, very sincerely, the reverse service, everything, all is well, that turns out well. So that's the story of Dhruva. But we can always take lessons, that how when we are full, so don't go shopping when you are hungry. Don't go into this material world with a hungry heart. Fill your heart with Krishna in the morning, and then when you take any facilities, then you won't get infected by what we see. Just like Dhruva, he's seeing all these facilities, wonderful trees from the heavens, but he's not forgetting Krishna in this. So I'll stop here and see if any devotees have any questions or comments that they want to add or discuss.
Dandvat Pranam, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for a wonderful lecture today. I always like the way you relate it with different analogies, and especially the fact of when we are empty stomach, if we are empty in our spirituality, then we will be more prone to arguments, more prone to buy materialistic things, and that part I really liked about it. And there was a question, so let me see if I can frame it properly, Prabhuji. You said that when there's a lot of opulence, Krishna bestows opulence to the person who has a digestive capacity to take it, right?
Yes.
But
yeah.
But at the same time, there are instances when we say that Krishna will take away the materialistic things from a person, one who completely surrenders. So if one is completely surrendering, Prabhuji, then why the things are also taken away, so that he becomes closer to Krishna. That's what they say too, right, Prabhuji? So kind of I'm not able to find the consistency in the two statements, though both are kind of.
Yes, Mataja, that this is a verse that Prabhupada quoted, that when he saw that he was losing it. As I said, Prabhupada said, Krishna tested me twice. Once he took away everything from me, and once he gave everything to me. So when Krishna took away everything, and Prabhupada referred to this verse from the Srimad Bhagavatam 10th canto, 88th chapter, verse 8, that Krishna himself says that Yasyaham anugrihnami harishye taddanam shanai tado dhanam tyajantasya swajana dukkha dukkita. So this verse says that if I especially favor someone, I gradually deprive him of his wealth. So when I was at Bhakti Center, this discussion came about this verse, and His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj was also there, and that there seems to be a dichotomy. That what is this? That Krishna is saying that Krishna bestows his devotees with opulences, who is known as Varadaraj, but then here he's saying is he a lesser devotee if he gets facilities, is he a greater devotee if he loses facilities? So usually people focus on the dhanam part. When we say yasyaham anugrinami harishe tad dhanam shanai. So people think that Krishna takes away his wealth, but the focus of that verse Maharaj was saying is that how Krishna gives himself. So Krishna giving himself is the focus of that verse, not Krishna taking away something. So and another thing that was being discussed is that Harishye Tad Dhanam. So when you think something is yours, and if Krishna becomes merciful, then he'll take away that conception that what is yours, and he may take away that conception either by physically taking that nothing is of me, like with Chitraketu Maharaj, he took away his son, or he takes away that by giving us the association of devotees by proper transcendental knowledge, where you understand nothing is mine, ultimately everything is Krishna's. So when tad dhanam becomes mad dhanam, when like Krishna says man manavo mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru. So when we think that this is mine, then there is always a chance if you want to progress, Krishna will take away. But when we start to develop that consciousness that this is Krishna's, this is not mine, then Krishna gives that to facilitate his service. So it is all a matter of, because we being a servant of Krishna, if it facilitates some service, Krishna will give us that, and if it doesn't facilitate, Krishna will take away that. Just like Arjuna, when his prowess was needed in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, Krishna gave him. When it was not needed, Krishna took it away. With Hanuman, in the Ramayana, he made him the superhero. And in the battle of Kurukshetra, Krishna just told him to be the cheerleader, just be in the balcony and just give cheering voice when Bhima shouts. So a devotee is not attached to the things that he has. He is only attached, okay, whatever I have, let me use in Krishna service. So the focus of that verse also is that conception that this is mine is taken away. Whether Krishna takes away the particular thing depends on the situation, depends on our consciousness, how much we are entangled in that particular thing.
Okay, Prabhuji. So as I understand, what you are saying is, like, if for a sincere devotee, if Krishna is taking away the wealth, whatever, he is actually teaching, giving him a pointer to become closer to him. Some kind of a signal which he's indicating by that, probably.
Yes.
So that he can learn some lessons that way.
Yes, you're right.
Okay. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Hare Bol, Dandvat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev Ki Jai. Braja Mohan Prabhu, thank you very much for your assistance, inspiring us. Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev Ki Jai. Hare Bol.
Thank you, Mataji.
How sincerely you explain about Srila Prabhupada and from Shri Bhagavatam Prabhuji. It's touched to heart. Thank you very much. Hare Bol.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Wonderful class and many things come to know.
Happy to share something from the Srimad Bhagavatam, something about Dhruva Leela.
Oh, thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, if devotees don't have any questions, can I end the call?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, anybody has any questions at this point of time? If not, then let's say our obeisances. Vanchakalpa
Tarubhyasya kripa sindhubhya patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namah.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Thank you.